right, good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Let's talk about what wants to come in for the collective today. Boy, that twin flame reading, I just finished it. Talking about the mission is the path. My goodness, it was a Lionsgate reading. If you missed it, I'll put a link here if you want to catch it. Wow, it was some kind of reading. I feel reinvigorated by it too. So just want to pass that along. Let's see what's going on for my collective today. What is happening for you? Oh yeah, wondrous universe, walk in beauty, cleansing waters. Begin now. Take your first step. That feels pretty good. Traveling lightly. Simplify your life. So right now we're in a time period that has felt quite, how do I say this? Like upheaval and calm at the same time. There's been a lot going on. I'm going to be talking a lot more about the astrology of 2025 and 2026 when things are really going to start rocking. With all the outer planets, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto changing signs. It's going to be just a big deal. So let's talk about what's going on right now. I feel like the rest of this year is going to be about leading up to a path, leading up to the beginning of the new age. Even if we're not talking about Age of Aquarius starting, I feel like Age of Aquarius started already. I feel like 2012 has really kicked off because the Age of Aquarius, because of all of you waking up, all of the soul awakenings that have been happening. And so there's something about the precipice of this year that is really very loud to me right now. So yeah, here we go. So 8 of Cups, leaving. This is Persephone. This is about leaving behind an old life, not because it was terrible, but because it's no longer on your path. Okay. And walking towards this 9 of Cups, 3 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, and this Hermit energy. So there's something really beautiful about walking toward gifts. Okay. So you can see like everyone's gifting each other in these videos, in these frames. The 9 of Cups, the 3 of Wands, and the crown there, the Ace of Pentacles and the other 6 of Pentacles. There's something here about walking towards your gifts. And with the Hermit energy here, especially Virgo energy. As we walk towards Virgo. We're in Leo energy right now. Within about 10 days, we're going to be at the height of Lionsgate energy, 8-8. This year, 888. Okay, so that is about us putting in the time and effort into a spiritual path. And Leo energy is about being seen doing it. And I don't mean just like being famous or anything like that. It's not really about that. It's about shining the light in such a way that it's getting seen by the people who need to see it. So you're aligning yourself with mission, aligning yourself with purpose. You're doing this kind of clearing of old baggage. That's a very important thing to do. And I kind of feel like when we're watching so much going on in the world, if you have anything that does need to be walked away from or cleared right now, that's being asked of you. Oh yeah, Chariot, moving forward very quickly. Page of Pentacles, going towards learning something new. 6 of Wands, victorious. Chariot and the 6 of Wands are both the cards of victory. Hanged Man, King of Swords, the Temperance card, the World. Wow. Page of Wands, Ace of Wands. Interesting. So I see some of you really moving toward your new path. Okay. Begin now, starting on this new path, taking your first step, clearing behind, letting go of old situations, old ways of doing things, outmoded belief systems, just kind of, relationships that have fallen by the wayside, or you're letting go of them, really doing the healing work now. It's really important to do the purification. Okay, right now. So you may have had a lot of death energy around you, letting go. We've talked about this many times on the channel, letting go of old relationships that are really lessons. Those people were lessons for you. They were sent here to teach you something. And you're like, yep, learned it. That's how I'm moving forward. And now I'm going to clear myself of that energy. And it's like, okay, I'm tying up the loose ends. All right. I'm really tying up the loose ends. Hanged Man and the King of Swords. Now I have a new perspective on life, a new perspective on my path, on where I'm going. I'm seeing things much more clearly. This is Aquarian energy. There's the age of Aquarius right there. And my darling, you are protected. You are protected. The Temperance energy, that Sagittarian energy. So we've got Sag and Aquarius right next to each other. And this is kind of like the big ideals and ideas of what's coming into the spiritual community, being able to receive them because you're no longer in a lower vibration way of thinking or being. You're seeing things now from this new perspective. And it's like, oh, wow. Like, I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but whenever I get opened up to, recently I've been looking at Uranian astrology, which talks about the planets beyond. The Pluto is a Uranian planet. It's beyond Uranus. And when they first discovered these like outer planets, that was a shock to the system. We could only see as far as Saturn. Saturn was the boundary, which is why Saturn's about boundaries. Saturn was the boundary, but then we discovered that there was Neptune and Uranus and Pluto and all of these other bodies out there that really kind of opened your mind, right? It opened you up, which is what the age of Aquarius is doing. It's opening us up to new ways of being, new ways of thinking, and clarity of mindset that comes from a balanced perspective, that we're no longer hanging on to old mindsets, old belief systems. Temperance, Sagittarius, is the energy of belief systems. Now, whether this comes from family, society, beliefs about men, beliefs about women, beliefs about sex, gender, race, culture, religion, political movements, whatever that has been, I just feel like there's a new energy here, a very powerful new energy coming onto the planet right now. And a lot of us in the spiritual community are embracing it, loving this new energy. And most of you have come through a time when it was about like learning this about our path and uncovering belief systems that don't serve us anymore, and letting go of family members, letting go of toxic relationships, letting go of how we think about toxic relationships or not, letting go of our ways of being in the world or the ways we even see our own identity. You're a spiritual being having a physical experience. And when you really embrace that, it's kind of like, oh, wow, like this is the car, this is the thing I walk around in because it needs a case. You need a case, right? You need some kind of encasement for that soul. These are the experiences that were gifted to me to help me learn. And now it's like, okay, wondrous universe, I see that now. Clarity. I see it. And I'm open to these new ideas, new opportunities. I'm open. And so I'm being gifted with them in a very demonstrable, loud way. This is about being excited about the ideas, not just about like, okay, well, I see that, there's some people are opening up to thinking about UFOs. People are opening up to thinking about banking systems and world governance and what's, how countries work. Will there be the same boundaries? Is it, we can fly anywhere we want in the world. The boundaries used to be the oceans, and now we're like all over the place. We can be anywhere in a day's time. And this is, it's almost like a little bit of travel here, because this does feel like he's flying over, over hills, over dales, over, getting to the world, being out in the world more. There's something very Aquarian about this. And I almost feel like this time period of Lionsgate, we're really getting excited by the new ideas that are coming on the planet because we have done all this work. Because now there's like, I don't know, there's just an openness to it, or there's a not just like okay, I'm bracing for impact. It's more like I'm excited for it. I'm wanting that to come on now because I see things in a new way. I'm really starting to see things in a brand new way. So this Ace of Wands, Eight of Wands, Six of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. Lots of fast movement. Eight of Wands, Knight of Swords. The Six of Pentacles is about helping other people, is about putting our excitement, our new ideas, our new verve, our new expansive kind of way of looking at the world, new kinds of, I'm a clean slate almost, right? Like I have all these learnings that I've now created wisdom around. And now I'm ready. I don't have anything that's holding me back anymore. This is a lot of fast movement. I don't have anything that's holding me back anymore. Okay. So I'm really starting to move forward. I'm really enjoying the idea of moving forward. It's no longer like, okay, I kind of don't want to. The Six of Wands. Tower. Oh yeah. Three of Pentacles, Two of Cups, and the Four of Cups. So you are on this spiritual path for a purpose. And if you're being opened up and being excited by all the learning you've done, the new modalities that have really brought you peace and really helped you. And so you're like, hey, this really helped me. I want to share this with you. How do I get that out into the world? How do I blog? Do I YouTube? Do I, do retreats? Do I just talk to one person at a time? Like, how am I getting that out into the world? I feel like that's going to be shown to us. Like, what's the path? Because I do feel like, remember I was talking about this for a couple of years, that we were living in a time when we had one foot on the dock and one foot on the boat. The boat has left. The boat is now on open water. Okay. So all of y'all in the spiritual journey, the spiritual path are on this boat, right? We're on this boat. And there's a lot of people back on the dock who are like, oh, wait a second. I want to be on that boat. I want to be out there. I want to be, open to things, but I can't. I'm really holding on to this earth. I'm really holding on to this thing that I believe is my identity. I'm really holding on to this. And those on the spiritual path are like, hey, okay, there's plenty more boats. We'll get more boats. We'll do it. And then something happens. Tower. This is Poseidon. And those of us on the boat are meant to be on the boat during the storm. We are. Actually, we're that lighthouse. So there's this sense of being, because water, when we're talking about bodies of water, we're talking about Poseidon. Water is the thing that connects us all. It's like there's no boundaries in water. We're talking about Neptune. We're talking about being in the sea, and there's no boundary between this bit of water and that bit of water. Not like you see on the earth where there's like, okay, there's a desk here and there's a chair there, and those two things. In reality, there's no difference between the chair and the desk, but it's how we perceive them. And so we are part of the water. We're part of the water. So when the tower does create this storm, when there is this big storm, we're part of the water. So I was going to say that it's like, when people say, well, we're in the same boat, that's not really accurate. We're in the same storm. Okay? We're in the same storm. Have you prepared for the storm? If you have, then your boat can withstand it. right? Or your gifts are of use to other people because they haven't prepared. They don't know what's going on. There's a storm coming. There's definitely a storm coming. And then people will seek you out. All right. So in the meantime, we are on this boat together on a spiritual path, and we know that we are part of the water. It's almost like the boat is the water or something like that. The boat is the water. I'm kind of getting that image of the boat kind of dissolving into the water. There's no differentiation between the boat and the water. Other people coming to you who have a storm going on for them. I feel like this is happening very soon. This might not be one of those like necessarily culture-wide kind of storm. Talk to me about the storm. But I feel like you've been there before, like you've lived through it and you've walked away from it, or you've been able to walk away from it and create something amazing. And now those people who are going through the storm are kind of coming to you as the lighthouse. All my marine narratives. Okay, the moon. Knight of Wands. Seven of Wands. There's the storm. And the Four of Swords. You're at peace. There's going to be people around you who are going to not be at peace. Okay? Whatever's going on for them, something that they fear has come to pass. It's almost like there's a storm of someone's worst fear coming to pass. I feel like those of us who stared fear in the face, the biggest fear you have, if you have looked it in the face, then you're qualified and able to help other people who are looking at that fear themselves. And this has always been true. This is not just like, hey, this is a 2024 problem or 2025 or the astrology or anything like that. I'm speaking to a group of you who have weathered some kind of big storm in your life. And now other people are going to be weathering the same storm, and they're going to look to you. This is part of your mission. Okay? Part of your mission. Opening up, seeing new ways of being, getting new ideas, being excited about these new ideas, and then whammo, there's this big storm. And you're at peace. You're at peace. Okay? And that's, it's peace in the middle of a storm is very attractive. When other people are having a huge problem navigating, going to do it together. Five of Wands, Hierophant, Eight of Pentacles, Three of Swords. You're going to be helping in terms of healing, in any kind of turbulence. Some of you are going to be working with friends or family members, going through divorces, going through financial problems, whatever the problems are. You've already done it. You've already done it. And so it's not that it's easy for you, because you definitely have a lot of empathy and compassion for, the people who are going through it now, because you've been there. And there's something very attractive and very reassuring that you have been through it. And look at you now. Look at you now. So for those of you who are kind of like on the precipice of creating a storm in your life, you know it, right? If you're on the spiritual path, you know that part of the admission, the price of admission for being on the spiritual path is usually some kind of storm that happens. And that wakes a lot of people up. All right. And so you're going to be there very clear-eyed. Very clear-eyed, ready to help. Ready to help. The Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands, this is going to bring in for you a lot of conversation. This almost feels like Gemini energy, conversation around What do people need to do? How can I do what you did? What's the story? Tell the story. Something about telling the story is what you need to start doing. Telling the story is what you need to start doing. The Page of Cups, the Five of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Queen of Swords. From a very, not from a point of view of how did you get yourself into this mess, but from a very compassionate place. Like, we'll find it. We'll get there. It's going to be okay. Because these people now are awake. They're shook awake. So they are paying attention. So the energy of this is nurturing, but clear-eyed. Clear-eyed. Like, you're not going to sugarcoat anything for them. But what you are going to say is, you can do it. Because look at me, I did it. If I can do it, you can do it. Let's keep going. I'm going to pull cards for each zodiac sign in the extended. Give you a little bit of advice. And let's see where this takes you. All right. Link is below. If you want to keep going, Pathfinders, let's just keep going. All right. I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.